the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
The third meeting of the fourth session of the 8th Parliament, Eii Ato Forson, discussions also between the minority and the majority leaders. Now, a clash at the same time, Justice Eii Asare, judge of the Accra High Court, decided a ruling for Dr. Eii Ato Forson as a basso this week. And to Dr. Eii Ato Forson draw letter a command judge and say because of the meeting at Parliament into Omaho na on postpone the judgment na on timin kwatena Parliament na Justice Eii says delay tactics obi to say lawyer chachuchikata over the years we used to know. And yeah, dear obepene ama this particular ambulance trial I delay no chinebi ya koka say ya sanso akonya lip tape bi ya sanso akotie conversation bi wo private room bi 3 a.m. bi near the barbarian apply for mistrial. And the judge na ebo to go ye say Ken say Dr. Eii Ato Forson be mo courthouse na otie the judgment because both sides of the argument, the legal argument, be a argument at Tudra, into the ruling. Near PM Parliament, you notice a particular trend. Say, this heading into 2024 elections, no, it is a battle in the central region, a battle of the north, also regarding that of presidential candidate, former President John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but battle of central region Biso Ekoso, especially two leaders of both caucuses, the minority leader every central region, Dr. Eii Ato Forson, of course, and the majority leader, Dr. Honorable Afenyo, and also every central region. Another heat Biso Ekoso, Professor Jane Nana, the running mate of former President John Dramani Mahama, also Safri Central Region. The second leading presidential candidate or leader here in the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Kennedy Japan, also Free Central Region, or then home Ekodom, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ewa Swami, Omusheki, Edane, or Butuye, also Free Central Region. Honorable Kennedy Japan influence now ever counteracted that of Professor Jane Nana. Now, Ode. Honorable Afenyo market Asia Dr. Eii Ato Forson. Now so another one also Honorable Howard Kumsin against Honorable the parliamentary candidate for the NDC na Koyo also person there Odishia Honorable Howard Kumsin eko PM with the stabbing of Nsem voting center. Now you copy more Parliament, ni expect to say, Obit said Dr. Eii Ato Forson was sympathized with the colleague, that is the member of Parliament for Howard Kumsin, Ewutu Senior East. Say, Neba, I go through this ordeal, especially with the event also our Electoral Commission Center. Even surprisingly, the Speaker of Parliament, the Nsem-Pii, just said, say, oh, transfer vote, oh, register within Keke, our Parliament. Voting center now an empty more NDC for more catching them call for Deputy General Secretary catching and call for someone for two or more and show more. How much more the elections 2024 and call for Kwakwa Amaya declare results like I say we win and I win here. It's here near said Dr. Eii Ato Forson. So what's the requirement from High Court, Kasawa Parliament? Obeka same me a beton confasuma edi peace beba. Now what did Dr. Eii Ato Forson edi two? A bear one. Obeka said the Electoral Commission in 2016 and yet the same thing no year. The same cause of complaint and no raising and say Electoral Commission during the voter registration exercise here more organized. Omoka say or more Electoral Commission centers and California the Mbambe register, which was the same thing that happened in 2016. Instead, Bani saying, Nasa same thing happened in 2024. Ultimately, say it is causing confusion and engine and for the second. Intian Samre, Yanko PMU Ewo Parliament, Yentie that of the Speaker Alban Babin, Dr. Eii Ato Forson, and an Honorable Afenyo marking on the floor of Parliament during the third meeting of the fourth session of the 8th Parliament.
shudder when I'm told that people going to write their names carry knives, guns, just to go and write names. What about when we are going to vote? And at the end of it all, the results are announced, and somebody else has carried the day, and not the other. I shudder to picture what will happen. Apart from that, the joblessness, the homelessness, and the hopelessness of the youth cannot be taken lightly. We must act together and now to prevent a journey to calamity or to a journey of no return. Honorable members, as the English conductor Sir Thomas Beecham once noted, there are only 2 golden rules for an orchestra. We start together and we finish together. Let us, as a political class, start together and finish together. I didn't hear you. The public does not give a damn what goes on in between the starting together and finishing together. With this, it is clear that as representatives of the people, we have a significant amount of work ahead of us, and I therefore urge all members to patronize the work and ensure that we make progress on these important matters. I've given signal to the chairs of the constitutional commissions, and they are more than happy to engage with us. And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission has promised to be here anytime we want her, so we can talk and clarify issues. That is a very good signal. Honorable members, on this note, I welcome you to the 3rd meeting of the 4th session of the Eii Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. You are welcome. We may take some sweetening words from our leaders as they lead us through this meeting. And so we will start from the minority leader and end up with the majority leader. Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm most grateful for the opportunity to make a statement to welcome members and your good self to the commencement of the 3rd meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it feels so good to see everyone back. I'm grateful to the Lord Almighty for His protection over all of us. Mr. Speaker, kindly indulge me to bring to your notice and to the notice of the House some matters that require urgent national attention. These matters, Mr. Speaker, are worrying, and since they have the potential to disturb the peace and threaten the stability of the democracy. Mr. Speaker, this is particular so because if this is not checked, it can lead into the destruction of the democracy that we have all fought for. Mr. Speaker, prior to the last District Assembly elections, the NDC Minority Caucus raised concerns about the conduct of the Electoral Commission during the limited registration. This was because the Commission made terrible decisions that threatened the integrity of Ghana's electoral process. Mr. Speaker, this set the Electoral Commission on a coalition course with some political parties, civil society organizations, and potential first-time voters. In February 2023, the NDC minority had a cause to say that this Electoral Commission enjoys taking unwholesome decisions, being disruptive, fancies courting public disaffection, and enjoys being roundly condemned by right-thinking people. We said this at the time because the Electoral Commission had taken a decision to restrict first-time voters to register only at the offices of the Electoral Commission. That reckless decision had the potential to disenfranchise or deprive the vast majority of first-time voters the opportunity to have their names captured in the voter register. That decision by the Electoral Commission made the registration of new voters during the limited registration exercise very difficult, cumbersome, painful, and laborious for those who were qualified to register as voters. The decision of the Electoral Commission also imposed huge unplanned financial burden on members of Parliament, parliamentary candidates, and political parties. Persons who were registering for the first time were needlessly subjected to frustrations and great inconvenience, whilst members of Parliament were subjected to significant unplanned out-of-pocket expenditures. People had to travel long distances, Mr. Speaker, to the offices of the Electoral Commission, endure long delays from queues, and suffer the agony of breaking down registration equipment and network failures. Mr. Speaker, one would have thought that the Electoral Commission would have learned lessons from the reckless decision that I have just recounted, which created chaos and confusion over the place. But no, Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission learned nothing from the past. These terrible decisions have just been repeated by the Electoral Commission in just ended voter registration, as well as the ongoing vote transfer exercise. Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission is making a simple electoral process very cumbersome, frustrating, expensive, and, Mr. Speaker, burdensome. These developments do not inspire hope in our electoral process. Rather, they give people and some political parties cause to question the integrity of the processes ahead of the 2024 general election. We are concerned, Mr. Speaker, that if these frustrating actions and decisions of the Electoral Commission is not checked, it can negatively impact the peace and stability of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, despite the Electoral Commission's earlier agreement with political parties at IPAC meetings to let the party agents monitor vote transfer, the Commission made a strange announcement banning party agents from the ongoing voter transfer and for them to be able to monitor the voter transfer. Again, Mr. Speaker, it took the strong pushback from the NDC and from civil society organizations and condemnations, Mr. Speaker, across the country for the Electoral Commission to retreat. These developments, Mr. Speaker, are unhealthy for our electoral process and democracy, and go a long way to ground the public perception of bias on the part of this particular Electoral Commission. Mr. Speaker, why must this Electoral Commission always take questionable decisions which create chaos and confusion across the country? Why must this Electoral Commission always threaten the peace and stability of our dear democracy? Mr. Speaker, I may ask again, why must it take massive pushback from the public and backlash from the Electoral Commission to always do what is right for the people of Ghana? Mr. Speaker, whilst we acknowledge the Electoral Commission is an independent body, it must be pointed out in no uncertain terms to the Electoral Commission that it does not have the independence to make dangerous, ridiculous, and outrageous decisions that can affect the peace and stability of our country and its democracy. It is therefore imperative for Parliament to call the Electoral Commission to order and to save the democracy that we have always protected. Mr. Speaker, the NDC Minority Caucus want to use this forum to demand an urgent committee of the whole meeting with the Electoral Commission and to iron out these concerns before, Mr. Speaker, it is too late. Right Honourable Speaker, may I now move to another issue of considerable national interest. Mr. Speaker, only some few days ago, this exercise they recently conducted, it is clear that they did better than what happened in 2016. In 2016, Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission limited its registration to only 8 offices. To only 8 offices. In this registration exercise, apart from 8 district offices, additional centers were created. So this exercise was far better than what we experienced in 2016. But perhaps, Mr. Speaker, let me rely on the veritable words of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. When in 2016, he encouraged Ghanaians, quote, let's not overly criticize the Electoral Commission. Let's have faith in our Electoral Commission. Let's have faith in our Electoral Commission. Relying on these veritable words, I shall encourage all of us as Ghanaians to have faith. Section. Mr. Speaker, we are all beneficiaries of democratic governance, and it is incumbent upon us to ensure its sustenance and continuity, and this can only be achieved by engendering the trust and confidence of the populace in the process. Democracy has brought so much benefit to this country, and that I expect that every well-meaning Ghanaian citizen will strive to protect and ensure the peace and harmony we enjoy today is sustained for tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, the situation where elected members of this august house go to the media or resort to the use of other platforms to attack independent constitutional bodies and agencies in a manner that is unbecoming should be a thing of the past. I do not think that I need to remind honorable members and civil society of the happenings around us where the gains of democracy are increasingly being rolled back through military adventurism, coup d'etats and terrorism, which is as a result of these unguarded commentaries and statements by persons and officials of state who should have been working to protect and safeguard the practice of constitutional governance. It is imperative that we avoid any incendiary statement and accusations that can harm our democracy and the peace and unity we enjoy. Let us endeavor to preserve and protect our democracy so that we can reap the gains and benefit thereof and bequeath to the future generation a prosperous and a peaceful Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as the House is already aware, a successful by-election was conducted in the Ejiso constituency in the Ashanti region, where our colleague, Kwabena Boateng, was elected as a member of Parliament. The member was duly sworn in during the recent recall sitting in accordance with the Constitution and other standing orders of the House. Again, I take this opportunity to welcome him to this august House and to encourage him to make an impact in this House. Mr. Speaker, admittedly, any opposition party may decide not to agree with the ruling party, and our democracy is no exception to this development. Nonetheless, even in our disagreements, we must put the welfare and well-being of our people first and eschew any acts that will deny our people the benefits they are likely to gain from our work as parliamentarians, which is our utmost duty. We must understand that no parliament can operate without cooperation and consensus building, and these must be our guiding principles. Whether in opposition or in government, democracy is supposed to yield positive dividends to the people, and we, as elected representatives, have a key role to play in this regard.
We must therefore live up to our responsibility.